Hiya folks, and welcome back to Fishing with Den. Right, we're on a club match again today, and the whistle has literally just gone, and I'm not quite ready as usual, but we'll get this show on the road. You're a bit further away from me than normal today, purely and simply because I'm down on this platform and you're up on a high bank behind me, and there's nowhere in between I can put it. So I'm going to be fishing for a lot of small fish today. I say small fish, very much like the ones I did last time. I'm thinking they should all be in this sort of 4 ounces to up to £2 range, but with the possibility of the odd huge fish of £20 plus. Okay, so quick intro then. On the club lake, I'm on the dam wall for a change. First cast, I've just been setting up the zoom camera down there so you can see if I get any bites. It's a lot deeper over here, but with this proliferation of small fish that I was talking about, I'm going to try fishing fairly close in. I'm only fishing a top 2 plus 2 at the moment. I've got another one set up for a top 2 plus 3, and that's quite a lot deeper. But the idea is to get the fish in as close as I can and literally get them in the net as quickly as possible. Well, I've had a bite, and as you see, literally I have been in for what, a minute. I've put 1 pinch of pellets in, 1 pinch of sweet corn, and we're off to the races. So let's get myself sorted out because I'm not quite right yet. Move that out of the way a bit. I'm probably going to end up swinging to hand today, although the guy that won it last time was further down there. And oh, there we go. Oh, I don't know, that's bigger than I expected. And as I was saying, he was down there and he was catching fish in the £1 to £2 bracket, when I was over there and I was catching fish in the 4 to 8 ounce bracket. So that's why he had £80 and I had 50, I reckon. Haven't actually spoken to him, but I reckon that's the story. Let's have a quick look at what we got for this first fish. It's not a liftable fish, so let's have a look. Yeah, he's probably best part of a pound, I reckon. Get myself sorted out in a minute. I'm on a size 12 hook, so not going for small stuff today. These fish just are not hook shy, tackle shy or whatever, and because I've got the possibility of catching fish much bigger, and as I keep saying when I fish here, I've had them up to 26 pounds out of here, and that was on a pole too. So I've got £8 main line on, and I don't mean high-tech main line, I'm talking about Guru drag line, which is 0.28mm, and the hook length is £6 drag line, which is that going to go under? Which is 0.25mm. I may need to take a shot off that by the look of things. See where we're at. Oh, oh, can't say they're slow in coming, can you? I'm going to take this off for a minute because it's getting in the way. I haven't even set up the ledger rod today because where I am here, there's no real features out there and it's just blank, and I've never done very well on the ledger on this particular place, ledger, feeder or whatever, and it's kind of on the edge of netting, isn't he? Right, well, just to start off with, we will net him just to be on the safe side. But I've got to watch me camera tripod because that's right behind me as well, and this guy swallowed it. Told you they weren't hook shy, didn't I? Right, well, that's over £1 to start with. Not that particular fish, I meant in total. I'm using 2 bits of corn on the hook, and as I say, by fishing top 2 plus 2, the idea is get them in quick and get a good weight. Ooh. Might just take an extra section off the back of this so I don't clatter into my tripod. It's all a bit precarious these days. Right, I think we'll do that now. I'll get back to you in just a sec. Need to get myself sorted properly. Just take this last extension off. See how that goes. Shouldn't be clattering into me tripod then. Okay. Leave it down there just in case I need it. And we'll get back out there. All going to be a bit frantic today, all being well. I haven't even put any bait in, apart from that first amount, so we better start sorting that out. These fish are going to need some bait today. Oops. I'm on 22 elastic, by the way, and it's the slick orange stuff, so I'm not even needing to pull any elastic in. And so far, if it keeps up like this, I could easily have a good day. Like I said, they are not shy, they always like to swallow it if they can. Well, we're about half an hour in and I've been catching steadily, but it is slowing down now. So I did think they were coming up on the surface, but not on the surface, but coming up in the water rather, but they're actually not. I think what's happening is they're spooking. Remember, this is a natural venue. It's not like it's gets any feed or anything like that, so I've got to be a bit careful how I do this. And what I'm going to do, just in case, I'm going to feed with this bait dropper. If you haven't seen a bait dropper before, I'll just put this on and I'll show you. Basically, it's just a container, and what you do, you get some bait, put it in there, don't overfill it because if you do it doesn't open up, close that, put the little catch over, and then what you do is put this where you want it to go. Now bear in mind there's a weight on the bottom, so what you do is aim at my target over there, at my distance, let it drop, give it a bit of a shake, and lo and behold, the trapdoor's opened, the bait's all gone, and we fed on the bottom. So if they are there, they're going to be on the bottom. On the right hand swim, I'm still feeding by hand. So on that one, we'll see how that goes, because the bait is going to be dropping down through the water. So based on those two ways of feeding, we get more of a feel for what's going on. And also by having two swims left and right, it hopefully lessens the disturbance a little. As I say, all I'm doing is loose feeding out to there. The fish here don't really come up in the water generally. They might come up a little bit, but they don't really come up way high, so it's not like you could fish shallow for them. As you see, slowing down a little bit now. I normally would have had a bite around about now. And there we go. A little bit longer, as I say, but you know, it's still coming. Still only catching these small ones though. The guy that had the 80 pound last time was definitely getting a bigger class of fish than I'm getting. But we persevere. What I'll do this time, I'm putting 2 bits of corn on. I'm on a size 12 hook. As I've said, they are not tackle shy in here at all. Mostly because they've never seen bait or hooks before. I'm going to do the left one now and just fish to that and see if we get a bite there. Remember, all that bait went down in one place, like a big ball. Yeah, just as slow there. So I think what's happened is I've taken quite a few fish out of here and it's spooking them. I've actually got those other two swims further out at a top 2+3, which should be what, 7 meters or so. So it looks like I may have to sort of go out there as well and just alternate a bit. Just lift it up and drop it, see if that does any good. Looks like I'm going to have to mess around a bit today using different lines. I was hoping to catch on the top 2+2 all day, but that looks like wishful thinking. And, oh, it was a bite, but I missed it. And I've got no bait. Well, as I've said, the swim where I'm just putting the things in loose, the bait in loose, is marginally producing better than the one where I'm putting the bait in on the bottom. So the logic therefore would be that there's no major amount of fish in the area down there. Okay, so as I said, that slowed down. We're an hour in and it's just time for me to go out and go a bit further. Just one more section. This is my first fish, maybe slightly bigger than the ones I've been catching, and obviously it's probably 1.5 foot deeper where I am there. So I'm not convinced it's that much bigger, but it's a nettable one anyway. It's handy now I've got that extra section taken off. I'm not clattering on the tripod now, so if you heard any noises before, that's what it would have been. This one is actually a little bit bigger than the class of fish I've been catching. It's in the pound range as opposed to the sort of 6 ounces ish. So I've fed this slightly differently. I've actually been using the ground bait punch, and again, if you don't watch the channel regularly, I'll just show you that briefly. Let's get some bait on. This is the ground bait punch. Put some ground bait in there, push the thing just like a syringe, pops out a plug of ground bait, and then you can feed it by hand, and just to get the thing to go down to the bottom a bit quicker than the other bait. Pestered by flies now. Wow, they're really a pain when they get going, those flies. Okay, so that was our first bite. Same strength of rig, you know, the 028 mainline and 025 bottom, so just on the off chance that I do get big fish. If I was fishing a commercial, I'd be worried I was fishing far too heavy, but this isn't a commercial. Get another pellet of ground bait in. Literally only been fishing it for a couple of minutes or so before I had that bite. There you go, that's how I'm feeding it. Still feeding a few pellets and a few bits of corn, but see how the ground bait works on this further out one. Well, I may have got this wrong. It might be that I should have set up that feeder rod after all, because this just isn't really happening. Started off a blistering pace and then now it's just going nowhere fast. I couldn't get anything further out either. and if we're going to get anything there, I'm unlikely to get anything further out than that. So we'll go back and try the slightly shorter line, see how we go. You never know, they may have come back to it. I have got a rod set up, actually, a float rod for set up down in the reeds here. Now I've not fished this swim since these reeds occurred, because usually we're sitting down where my float is, which is, I'd been drowning about now. But the water level is quite high, and it has been all year. So that means that these reeds have grown up, and up in the trees there I can usually get a really big lump or two from fairly close in. So I'm going to put some bait down there, and I've got that rod set up because if it is a big one I want to be able to give it plenty of line, and we'll give that a go later on. It may or may not work, but it's got to be worth a go. I really don't fancy the feeder on this swim, because there's a feature on all the ones along there. They call it a sunken bar, but it is that. It's basically someone dug a trench out of this old gravel pit, and it doesn't actually extend as far as I am, unfortunately. But we may have to give it a go. Well, I came back in, I tried the shorter lines, and literally nothing. So going back on that further line where it's deeper, as I say, so maybe we can make something work there. Oh, we had a bite anyway. Oh, it's my second fish from that swim, the further out one. Still tiny fish though, but at least I'm getting a few bites now. But this is not going according to plan. I just changed from a double piece of corn to a single just to try it, and that got me that bite. Whether it made any real difference or not remains to be seen, but we'll continue for now. Ooh. Well, I'm catching, but I'm just not catching fast enough because they're not big enough, which is a bit of a pain. Not the plan. Well, we're coming up for 2 hours in. It's just getting slower and slower, and I'm kind of wondering what to do next. What I have done, I've potted 3 balls of ground bait out on the further outline, and I've also put some down in the reeds here. I'm going to leave that for half an hour or so just in case. That may be that there's still small stuff down there, but if there's any big ones down there, we're going to give it a go anyway. But I've given that probably 10 minutes out there, so I think probably what I'll do next is give it a go over the ground bait, and then alternate between the two out at... Oh, hang on, just had a bite. It's a bit patchy though, unfortunately. Okay, well, as I say, it's been a few minutes since I put that ground bait in. We'll go out and try that line. Oh, straight under. Well, missed it of course, but hey, it was a bite. Well, this one maybe is a little bit bigger. And at the moment, I'm not achieving the aim. At least he's knittable, this guy. Well, I think this must be the biggest one I've had. It's probably only about £2. Come on, fish. Hey, get out there. not all that big at all, really. Ugh. What on earth are you doing here, then? Come on. Maybe I should have pulled some elastic in after all, that one. He was getting a bit frisky down the edge there. Yeah, I don't know, £1.50 or so, I suppose. Could do with some more of this size, but this guy swallowed it. Right, so what to do? I know what I'm going to do. First fish off that line, but there's plenty of ground bait out there to keep him busy for a minute. I'm just going to try that rod. I'm only fishing, I don't know, I reckon that's 3 feet overall. A couple of bits of corn on. I'm going to go right in down the edge there. I've got a nice 10 hook on this one. And see if there's anything big. Or indeed anything at all. This is a bit of a long shot, but hey. Of course, there had to be a lump of dead reed down where I want to fish, just as I want to fish it. Alright, that'll do. Got the clutch set fairly loose just in case, because I'm hoping they'll take off out to the middle of the lake and not go that way up towards the bank. Some sort of movement. Well, it's not big, but it's bigger than I have been. No, it's not even bigger. It's another one of those little carp that I'm just getting to the point of despair with at the moment. Can't get past them. And I was hoping for something huge down there. Oh well. I have to admit though, when the float does go under down there, you kind of heart's in your mouth a little bit just in case it's something huge. Steer it in and hopefully in the right place. As usual, I've got a dragonfly landing on the tip of my float. Oh! I told you I got it set fairly light, but let's tighten it down a fraction. Bigger than the other ones though. Of course, not much bigger, but a bit. Forgot I hadn't got the end section on then. Right, well, this one's £1.50, I reckon. But we are getting 1 or 2 fish down there now. Well, 2 specifically. Get back out there and see if we can do anything else. As I said, I could do this with a pole and it would be a lot easier, but with these huge fish around, you really don't want to be messing around with a pole. Had those 2 bites and that's it. So, mind you, even those 2 little fish could have cleared up quite a lot of the bait. So I'll pot another lump of ground bait and some other bait out there, and we'll go back to the pole line again and see what happens there. Well, it may be slower out there than on the inside, but The fish do seem at the moment anyway to be slightly bigger. They're still not huge, but they're not the swingers, they're just the netters. But if you think about it, a £1 fish, and you catch a few of those an hour, and you're building a good weight. Just put the rod down to the right, as you can see again, just to give it a go, and as it was settling it just did that. So there's something down there, but don't know if it's big or small. Well, it's not huge, but don't forget I've got the clutch set fairly light, so this isn't big. Well, not as big as I'd like it to be anyway. I'm keeping the clutch set fairly light because if I do get one of those really big fish, they can take off quite quick as well. And there's no stopping them, so don't want to have to be panicking and back winding when I'm doing it. Right, oh yeah, well, bigger than them 4-ounce ones, isn't it? Another quick sneaky look down there, I think. Yeah. All helps. This one's probably about £2. Could do with about another 30 of those, I reckon. Still, we'll give it a go. Another quick squiz down there, you never know. Watch these reeds as I come in because they're really tall and they're getting in the way. Okay, so we'll feed that one then and go back to the pole line. Well, a quick update, guys. It's 5 hours in, we've got an hour to go, and it's really gone pretty much dead, although I did just have a bite as I started to speak there, just a bit of a bob. Oh, hang on. I've put a smaller hook on this one, gone down to a 14 and a lighter hook length, and this is the first bite I've had on it, and it's been in there for some time, so it's not as though it's making any difference whatsoever. It's just that sometimes you think to yourself, well, you know, was I wrong? Did I need a lighter hook length? But in reality, I'm convinced I have no reason to think that anymore. But I've got a few fish. My mate Ralph's just come up, had a chat. He's got 17 fish. I know I've got more than that. The boys up to the left of me, I've had a few. I don't think they've had all that many across on the other bank to my right there. I certainly haven't got as much as I had last time, which was about £50. But I've got a few fish, so we'll weigh them in. I've come all this way, 2.5 hour journey, so I might as well. I'm going to go back to 2 bits of corn on this one now. I've just been using one for a second there. And it'd be nice if we could put a few more together before the end of the day, but having said that, I've enjoyed it. It's been a beautiful sunny day. I've been under the shade most of the time. Can't complain. Right, go on float, go on under. Well, this guy certainly took off, but again, I don't think he's big, but it's alright. A bit bigger than I first thought though. I think you better get out of there. It's all over the place. Oh. Not even sure what it is. Oh, it is a carp. Ah, I can see what's happened. I think he's caught in the pectoral fin. Yeah. I seem to have scooped up a carp. Well folks, we're coming up to the end of the match now. Don't know exactly how many fish I've got. I didn't bother to count them because they're all different sizes. Don't think I've got anywhere near as much as I had on the last match, but who knows what everybody else has been catching. So anyway, as usual, what I'm going to do is I'll get myself weighed in, get myself home because it's 2.5 hours away, and for you, you'll get the results in the next 2 or 3 seconds, and for me it'll be the next 5 or 6 hours. Okay then folks, well as you can see I'm back home again now and I got the results. Turns out I came third, and apparently the pond didn't fish as well this time as it did in the last match. Now I actually had 34 pounds of fish, and as you saw I didn't have anything big at all. Second was Ivan, who won it last time, and he only had 38 pounds of fish, and the winner Enric had 41 pounds of fish. So between the three of us, there was a few pounds difference, but in reality, one big fish or a couple of medium-sized fish would have changed all those results around. So, was it me? Could I have done better? Well, I suppose you can always say, yeah, I could have done something different or better, but that's what the Americans call a Monday morning quarterback. Someone who obviously uses 20/20 hindsight. Did what I could, or what I felt I could on the day, and would I change anything? Yes, I would. I'd probably change feeding patterns slightly. There's a couple of other things I'd change, but again, the peg on the right last time was only 3 feet deep. This one was quite a lot deeper. I was on the dam wall. But the interesting thing was, I don't know if you noticed in the video, I had a pretty much flat calm all day, and I took off like a rocket and caught a few fish for the first hour or so, and then it slowed down. But all the time, without me really noticing, the wind was coming from over my shoulder, from the right over towards the left. So right down at the far end of the pond was Ivan, and he was not catching anything apparently for the first 2 or 3 hours from what I can gather. Again, I haven't spoken to him, this is third-hand information. But then in the last 3 hours or so, he's bagged up. So, did the carp move with the wind? And that's often the case with carp, they do tend to follow the wind. So, did I fish pretty well, or was it just coincidence? I don't really know, but the fact is that I enjoyed the day. I came third, didn't win any money because I think they only paid first and second, but that's all right. I think the main thing is, as long as you go out and enjoy yourselves, that's all there is that you can ask for. And really, it's a question of wait till next time. I'll be armed with a bit more information and hopefully do a little bit better and potentially come first next time. Anyway guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, click the like button. If you want to subscribe, feel free to do that too. And until the next time, bye for now.